Greetings, welcome to Facts About Everything. I'm your host, James Egan, and today on Bond Month, we're looking at the 2015 film, Spectre. It was rumoured the film would be called Devil May Care. The tagline was, "The dead are alive." Radiohead wanted to write the theme song. Sam Smith sang the theme song, Writings on the Wall. He won an Oscar and a Golden Globe for Best Original Song. This is the first Bond film where the theme song was sung by a solo male in 50 years. The last singer to do this was Tom Jones. Gary Oldman was considered to play the villain. Christopher Nolan was considered to direct the movie. This was the first Bond film to feature Spectre in 32 years. It made $880 million worldwide. This is the longest Bond film, running for 148 minutes. This is the first Bond film to show Moneypenny's home. The film went massively over budget and may have cost as much as $300 million, making it one of the most expensive movies ever made. Kim Kardashian said she wanted to be in the film. That's adorable. Chiwetel Ejiofor was cast in the role of C, but was replaced by Andrew Scott. Oh, that's annoying. I love Ejiofor. He would have been great. It was rumoured that Richard Kiel would reprise his role as Jaws and Jeffrey Holder would reprise his role as Baron Samedi. Sadly, both of these actors died before they could film their scenes. Mission Impossible Rogue Nation was supposed to come out at the same time as Spectre, but it was released several months earlier to avoid competing with Bond. Daniel Craig was a co-producer of the film. Penelope Cruz was rumoured to play a Bond girl. Léa Seydoux plays the Bond girl, Madeleine Swan and Ray Fiennes plays M. They both worked together on the Grand Budapest Hotel in 2014. Léa Seydoux and Christoph Waltz have previously starred in Inglourious Bastards. The opening track shot was actually 4 separate shots stitched together. Dave Bautista plays the henchman, Hinks. He's best known for playing Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's the 4th wrestler to play a villain in the series. Bautista was reluctant in taking the role as he didn't want to play a brainless henchman. After reading the script, he was happy to accept the role. I'm actually quite surprised about that, because Hinks only says one word. In the original script, Q was supposed to be kidnapped. Christoph Waltz won the role after the director saw his performance in the 2011 film Water for Elephants. It was rumoured that Rihanna would make a cameo. Sia was considered to sing the theme song. I love Sia. Oh, that would have been cool. Well, the theme song in this is quite good, which is weird because a lot of people don't like it. I don't know why. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. Let's get back on track. Craig said he enjoyed working on this film more than any other in the series. I thought he said he wanted to slit his wrist and he was dying to get out of the franchise. I wonder what the producers did to convince him to stay. It took 128 days to shoot the film. It took exactly the same length of time to shoot Skyfall. Christoph Waltz is the first Austrian to play a main Bond villain, which is weird because there's a lot of Eastern European villains. When the title was revealed, one news anchorman in the American South mispronounced Spectre as Spectre. In Russia, the film is called Spectrum. In Hungary, the film is called The Phantom Returns. Bond wears a top hat and a skull mask in the opening scene as a nod to the voodoo priest Baron Samedi from Live and Let Die. This is the 8th film where Judi Dench plays M. I found that fact quite funny because my editor had contacted me and said, you said that Judi Dench is in this movie, but she died in the last movie. And I said, yeah, but she cameos in a video, don't you remember? And she was like, no, I don't. This movie is completely forgettable. Monica Bellucci was 50 when she played Lucia, making her the oldest Bond girl ever. Léa Seydoux was 21 when she played Madeleine. This is the biggest age difference between 2 Bond girls in the same film. Although women in Bond films are known as Bond girls, Sam Mendes referred to Monica Bellucci as the Bond woman. Sorry, I just had to double check that it's Monica Bellucci. It is Monica Bellucci, but because she's Italian, I assume it's probably Monica Bellucci or something like that. But no, this whole time, I was saying it accidentally correct. The villain's cat was cut from Indian theaters. Really? You were totally okay with the horrific torture scenes? Hinks gouging out that guy's eyes? That's where you draw the line? And finally, the weirdest thing about this movie is that the famous parade at the beginning in Mexico, which celebrates the Day of the Dead, doesn't exist. It was made up for the movie, but everyone now thinks it's real because it was in this film. In fact, Mexico doesn't really want people to know that it's not real, because it makes your country look really cool and awesome. I mean, that big giant skeleton with a cigar, which doesn't exist, they're now starting to incorporate that into parades to give people the impression that this is a real festivity. Basically, when the Mexican government found out they were going to make a James Bond movie in their country, they panicked because they were worried it wouldn't look cool enough for James Bond, knowing that it'd be part of the franchise forever. So they had to dress it up and make it look as awesome as possible by making up this parade. And it worked, because that scene is awesome. And that's the last James Bond film. Now, at this point, you probably think I'm going to say, and that concludes James Bond month. Oh, I'm not finished yet. There's still a couple of more things I need to look at in James Bond. Check out tomorrow to find out. Special thanks to these fine people for all their help. Be sure to subscribe to Facts About Everything. Follow me on Twitter for updates on upcoming videos. Check out my Facebook page to let me know what subjects you want me to talk about in the future. Thanks for watching. See you again.